Hi everybody, happy Mother's Day 2010. Hopefully you had a great day. You're going to have a great dinner. For us, we're doing takeout. It's 4:30 Mother's Day afternoon. What do you think the chances are we're going to get reservations now, huh? Not a prayer. And just so you know, I'm up in my bedroom now. I'm locked in. I locked all the doors. I've been trying to get this to you since 3:30 this afternoon. Between 2 dogs and 2 cats, it has been almost impossible. I was downstairs, I was outside. You could have gotten some great shots of the cats, the dogs, the cats chasing the dogs chasing the cats. But I thought, nah, maybe we'll try to get some kind of message here. So I'm locked in our bedroom with me and apparently one cat who just came out. Hi, Bellagio. Wish me luck, please. I got something else I got to share with you. This message that you're getting is from a passage from John's Gospel that I had a 50-50 shot of sharing with you because the lectionary had 2 choices for Gospel readings this week. I picked the shorter one, I'm going to be honest with you. But in doing so, I think I might have screwed up because in reading this, I started thinking, what is the message? What's the message with this? This thing is, 2 paragraphs long? Which is good if you're like me and you don't like to read. And I mean, it ends so abruptly, and this happened on the Sabbath. Bing, done, end of story. And I got to thinking, this is from John's Gospel. And Gospel literally means the good news. And I started thinking, okay, what's the good news here? What is the good news? We got a guy who's been crippled, laying by a pool for 38 years. All right. Maybe this is a guy who we can imagine is the outcast of society, a guy who no one wants anything to do with. Maybe today this guy would be a beggar. That guy in Center City, Philadelphia, who is on one leg. I mean, you come up to the red light and you're stuck in traffic. He hobbles from car to car asking for money. Hey, anyone else besides me? Roll your windows up and lock the doors when this guy comes your way. But that's the picture at least I get of this guy. And here's what Jesus says to him. He says, "Do you want to get well?" To which this guy says, "Sir, I have no one to help me into the pool when the water is stirred." I said water. It's pronounced water. W-A-T-E-R. I know that's how it's spelled. Us guys from Jersey and ladies from Jersey, we say water. So please accept my apology and we'll go on. So he says, "I have no one help me into the pool when the water is stirred. While I'm trying to get in, someone else goes in down ahead of me." And to this Jesus replies, "Get up." Basically, pick up your mat and walk around. Okay? I mean, here's a guy we don't know anything about. We don't know if he had any faith. We don't even know if he believed in Jesus. Was he a good man? Was he a bum? All we know is that he apparently believed in the magical powers of this pool, and he wanted to get healed. But if we go a little further in the story, if you want extra credit and you want to read a little further, you'll find out that this guy wasn't even grateful for what Jesus had done. In fact, he dimes Jesus out to the authorities when he's questioned about who cured him, who did this on the Sabbath, because apparently on the Sabbath, it was against the law. It was illegal to heal and to walk around with your mat on that day. And when the religious authorities question him, he blames Jesus. He doesn't give credit to him. He blames him. I mean, here's this guy who apparently has no faith. He's got no humility. He's got no guts. And he certainly has no gratitude. Now, he doesn't deserve to be healed. He doesn't deserve anything. At least, not according to my standards. This is the guy who's been on the welfare rolls for almost 4 decades. He was one of those people. And yet, this is the guy that Jesus healed. And I had to ask myself, as I read this week, I started thinking, okay, and I had to ask myself, Does this guy represent the bums of the world, the poor? Does he represent the degenerates of society? Or does he represent someone else? Does he represent me? I mean, how many times have I not said thank you to someone who helped me? How many times have I disregarded a kind word or a kind gesture because I was too busy in my own world? How many times have I absolutely ignored the waiter or waitress who brought me my food or drink because I was too engrossed in a conversation? Yeah, I know it's what they get paid for, right? I hear you. But then I got to thinking, is it? How many times have I been so engrossed in my own world of crap that I don't see anything or anyone around me? How many times do I ignore good people and good things because I'm just too busy? I'm just too involved in my own world to even acknowledge someone for a kind word or a thoughtful act. And I bet I'm not alone in wishing I was more polite or a little more grateful for someone who went out of the way for me. And in thinking about that, I came to this conclusion about this reading from John's Gospel. I think there really is good news here. I think it's more than just a little snapshot of another one of Jesus' healings. I think it's as simple as understanding that God doesn't love us because of who we are. Let that one sink in. God doesn't love us because of who we are. Maybe God loves us because of who He is. And thank God for that. For you and for me, I think it means that we're loved regardless of who we are, of how we act. And I think we can be comforted in knowing that with all our mistakes, with all our screw-ups, our indiscretions, even our nastiness, nothing can get in the way of God's love for us. Nothing. It's almost as if God loves us in spite of ourselves. And I don't know how it is for you, but for me, I'm grateful that God deals with me according to who He is, and not according to who I am. And it's that unconditional love that I think makes us fortunate to be born into this world. It's the kind of unconditional love that a mother has. It's that love that only a mother experiences. Her child is unconditional. And on this Mother's Day, I thought that really is a bit of good news. And speaking of on this Mother's Day, when we were in church this morning, we sung a song, a hymn, if you will. It was more of a contemporary hymn. We don't get too many of them, but this is written. It was written by a lady named Natalie Sleeth, 1985. If you've ever been in a choir or chorus, chances are you've heard of her. And she wrote this while she was grieving the death of her mom. It's called "The Bulb." In the bulb there is a flower. I am not going to sing this. I'm going to spare you the grief, the agony, and the dogs howling in the neighborhood. I'm just going to share the words if I can. And it's called "In the Bulb There Is a Flower." In the bulb there is a flower, in the seed an apple tree. In cocoons a hidden promise, butterflies will soon be free. In the cold and snow of winter there's a spring that waits to be, unrevealed until its season, something God alone can see. And I thought, what a way to talk about mothers, what a way to represent the love that they have. I went outside and Lisa is going to kill me because she's been gardening outside all day. I got this bud here from one of our iris plants that we have outside. We have a whole bunch of them. And I think this represents the way you and I see each other. This is the way we see others. How's this? She is really going to kill me unless I put this in water. This is the way This is the way God sees us. This is our potential. We see each other like this. This is the way we're seen by God. And I thought, as I ripped them off the front lawn, that's that kind of unconditional love. That's the way God sees us. We're his children. It's as simple as that. And he loves us unconditionally. That is some pretty good news. Well, I guess that's it for the week. It's been 10 and a half minutes that I've been going on, and I think it's time to head on out of here and go see what kind of takeout food we're going to have. Have a great, great week, everybody. Happy Mother's Day. God bless.